Hey everybody, welcome to the 1947 Operators Podcast. In order to increase the rate of technology innovation in India, we need to increase the number of operator angels in India. Hence, we are launching the 1947 Operators. 1947 Operators is a podcast that unpacks the investing journey of the best operator angels in India. We will be covering areas like what drove them into angel investing, what's their investing process like, how do they source deals, pick deals, and win deals, how do they evaluate founders and the market size, what value do they bring to the cap table. We're hoping the 1947 Operators podcast will help more operators start their angel investing journey. As a result, we will see an increase in the number of operator angels in the startup ecosystem. Hey everybody, in this episode we had Kanani of Polygon. Jerry is the co-founder of Polygon. Polygon believes in Web3 for all. Polygon is a decentralized Ethereum scaling platform that enables developers to build scalable, user-friendly apps with low transaction fees without ever sacrificing on security. Polygon is one of the most valued Web3 companies globally. In this episode, we covered topics like what drove him into angel investing, what was his first angel investment, what's his investing process like, how does he evaluate founders, what does he think about Twitter, who was his first angel investor, if money and attention are not needed anymore, what would he work on? If given a chance to spend 24 hours with anyone in the world, who would that person be? Who is the outsider? All right, let's roll the episode. I'm so thrilled to have one and only JD Kanani on the 1947 Operators. JD, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shiva. I'm glad to be here.
We'll dive right into it. What drove you into angel investing and what was your first angel investment?
Okay, so I don't remember my angel investment, but I do remember my first LP check. Before I think after that I started doing angel investing actively, but first LP I did is with Cindy, Capital X. So I was watching her over the Twitter and following her portfolio on multiple, she has like a wonderful portfolio. So um, I knew like, whenever I have some money, I'm going to invest with her. So, and at the same time, Angel List created this syndicate kind of model or subscription kind of a model where you can go and put small money. And Capital X was the one of the first one to try it out, and it was like good path to start. So I just invested, talked with her. She was happy to kind of onboard me at the time, thanks to her. And yeah, so that was the first one. And then I did multiple other angel investments. So frankly, I don't remember that the actual check to directly startup, but I mean, I did a lot of investment because of the Polygon itself, because I get a lot of deals and everything.
Yeah.
So I did that to support the ecosystem of Polygon.
Gotcha. And thanks to Cindy B, that's how we got connected. And
Yeah.
JD, now you have a brand, and what that means, people reach out to you for advice and capital. So, in order to invest in very early stage companies, you need to have first, the access that you already have. Now, the harder part is picking the deals, right? Typically, we get, let's say, 30 minutes or 60 minutes or maybe more to evaluate the founders and business model and the market. How do you evaluate founders? What triggers you to invest?
So there are two things. So first, like most of the time, I invest for the ecosystem, for the Polygon ecosystem, to support them, so people can build on Polygons. That was one part of that, and suddenly I realized that, okay, I'm not going to invest in all these startups who are building on Polygon. It's basically not feasible for me. It also kind of time consuming for me. So we went ahead and created Polygon Ventures. We have like multiple um, uh, capital just for the Polygon itself. And personally, I started looking out a few deals, right? And when I say few deals, it means like, and there is no thesis behind that, where I invest, where I don't invest. It is really depends on my thinking process during that day, and my mood and uh, the things I'm thinking about, right? I
Yeah.
give the example, right? So like if you see a few days back, the NFTs which was like on the hype, people were investing a lot of money in NFTs, buying, selling NFTs, Bodyard Club and multiple
Yeah.
other NFTs. And then I was thinking about like how it would turn out, right?
Yeah.
There is no way this people just buying pictures and selling it, and that
Mhm.
will hold the values over the time.
Yeah.
So, and then gaming came. And then also in gaming, what people started doing is they sold like multiple NFTs to build the game, and the game was very shitty, right?
Mhm.
So next set of progress like steps would be like create a triple A games
Mhm.
and integrate token model, NFTs or blockchain crypto in a way which is very useful and sustainable over the time instead of just making quick money.
Yeah.
So this is thinking process, right? And at the same time, when I was looking at the Twitter, I found this guy creating indie guy. He
Mhm.
was creating an indie developer. Like
Yeah.
he created this amazing trailer of Shiva fighting with Asur. Yeah, you right, like a Brahmastra, right?
Yeah.
But in actual with in a triple A kind of a setup. And I was amazed by the trailer itself. And he created this one guy alone created this trailer and
Mhm.
playable video. And I said, let me reach out this guy and then see if he is interested doing some AAA kind of a game in the
Mhm.
future, and maybe interested in integrating Polygon in that.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him, and he said, yeah, I'll think about that. And then he also connected me with his brother. He was a banker or
Mhm.
working in the bank in US, and then he left his job and started working with his brother, and then created a company. And I invested like 100K
Mhm.
upfront. Like I just gave him like 100K, don't about the
Just
contract,
get
nothing
going.
else, just get going, right? And that's was my first largest check in one a particular startup. Like I only invest like 20K to 50K, but that was the time I invested. Like just gave them like 100K, and just I said, okay, let's start, and then we will think about other things later. Like just build
Mhm.
the game, right? And that was my thinking process, right? And then so this is part of the gaming, right? So I was thinking about that, something came up, and then on the DAOs, right? So I was reluctant on the DAOs, and I don't invest much on DAOs because
Yeah.
I see that DAO needs to innovate much more.
Mhm.
Because in current form of DAOs want kind of a work, right? People don't want to make a decisions on every single thing. So there has to be some way like we can reiterate on that. And similar on the same days, like someone came up with this thing. I don't want to give the details, but so they kind of know innovating on the DAO side. So I kind of invested small amount money there. um, and then there was a non-crypto world.
Mhm.
So they're building this amazing specs on the glasses. And this is small team. Like they were like they raised around like 200K before, and they
Mhm.
created like the whole end-to-end product out of that
Yeah.
hardware product, which is very hard, right? Like it
Mhm.
was obviously not that production ready, but it was bulky and everything, but it was very good. And I thought, okay, they are building that for the enterprises. And I was I talk with them and I say, okay, guys, like, can we make it like, because metaverse is going a lot, and maybe it is a way to connect the metaverse itself instead of going with the desktop itself, and maybe in the future, maybe down the line, we can connect that with the metaverse in a way. So so I invested in them, his check, and I just say, do your work. All right, I won't bother you.
Yeah.
If you need something, you just maybe send an email. If in my, I can help you any way I can help you, but just continue with your work and whatever you have in your mind. And we talked about, brainstorm about how to make it better, and that's it, like, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's how I do work. Again, another example of a guy, like, there is a one founder from Japan. He created a community, mobile communities multiple times. Like, he sold his games to Sony in the past, and he now creating something related to NFTs and fans and community and the influencer in the market. So I thought, okay, maybe this is a good way, because I'm an anime fan. So he's also doing something similar on the anime side. So I thought, like, good to invest and see like how it turns out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I've invested. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it seems like you're active on Twitter and you're paying attention. So it's both inbound and you're proactively even reaching out to people who are building something just very interesting, and it just gets your interest. What do you think of Twitter? Like, is there any like crazy story that just could be, I don't know, just helped you in a just fundamental way? So for me, when I joined Twitter, I think it was a turning point for me in life, because I started following smart people.
Yeah. So you won't believe it, but Twitter actually helped us raise money. First of all, at Polygon, Twitter helped us to get the first customers for the Polygon and people who are building right now on Polygon. So Decentraland guys, if you know, Decentraland was the first one to agree to build on Polygon in 2018 and 2017, 18, right? And they were like, I just reached out to them over the Twitter and over the mail, direct. And I got connected with this, for example, multiple startups on the over the email, over the Twitter. We reached out to Balaji for the investment, so that happened over the Twitter. So most of the time, like, Twitter is kind of a go-to place for us to get connected with other people, right? We hired a bunch of people from Twitter. I got a kind of DM, and then we end up hiring those people. So in a way, like, Twitter basically helped us. So I think Twitter is undervalued in a way. Like, no, obviously there are some other things going on, but I'm saying everyone, like, I think you would know, like, many people you reach out on Twitter, there is a 90% chance they will reach out back and then talk with you and then discuss and help you. So I would give, like, Twitter, like, 90% thanks to them, we reached here for sure. Yeah, and 10% luck, I would say. Yeah.
Massive. So JD, who was your first angel investor, and who was that one person that really drove the needle for you? It just changed things.
Yeah, so he's my friend, by the way. I think many people know him, like Rahul Dalmia. So he was my flatmate. Right? So I was in an apartment of in Mumbai, in Chandivali, in Nahar Amrit Shakti. There is a community called Nahar Amrit Shakti. We were there, and he was my flatmate. And he was also kind of active investor in Indian ecosystem. He invested in Blackbuck, like many other startups in India. And where he told me, like, JD, like, whatever you start, I will put the money, like, whatever it is. And when I started this, I reached out to him, and he didn't know, like, what I'm building. Like, he has no clue, or like what the scaling look like, how it would look like in blockchain, and nothing. Like, he knew about the crypto and everything, but not about the scaling or tech at all.
Mm-hmm.
and he gave me like money.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a first. So I always talk about him, like, he is like biggest supporter of Matic and Polygon.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me like his own personal money, and he was not like a big investor. He was a simple guy doing a job,
Mm-hmm.
right? So putting like trust on your flatmate, or it's a huge thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this space, like where the space is unknown, even if I'm building some web 2 companies, maybe he would like, okay, like maybe this will work, but the space he would not know like what is going on, and still he gave me money is like a huge thing for us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all I hear is good things about Rahul. I
Yeah.
guess he's probably one of the best pickers out there.
Yes, definitely. And he is very helpful in a way, like, even if he is not investing in the startup, or the startup already raised money, like if you reach out to him for the help, he would
Mhm.
do that
Yeah,
without any return. So he is very, very kind and humble investor
hmm,
person, I know in this space.
yeah.
Yeah.
So look, you and the team at Polygon have been really, really nurturing the Web3 coming out of India. And JD, I think, let me put it this way. One cannot go without the right policies. You have to have the right policies to, reach the highest potential in anything. If let's say you were a policymaker for 24 hours,
Mhm.
what are two or three things, or it could be more, that you would just implement and just drop the mic and just go build Web3 from India, for India and for the world?
Yeah, it's a very hard question, by the way, right? You cannot. There's a much things to discuss or think about, like how do we regulate this market. But one thing I would surely do is that, like, if I have 24 hours to do that, um, I would ask like people, if people, no, I don't care. Like, if I have 24 hours, I might care the retails later. I would care the founders and builders on highest priority. So I'm making in that order. I'm making my decision in that order, right? So first, I would say is that I give a free hand to the crypto founders
Mhm.
and say, okay, guys, like if you are building crypto and crypto startups and everything, just register with us with your foundation address or your company mm, crypto address, and that's it. And we will monitor that. We will do the GST or whatever we want to do on that address, instead of going, killing you basically.
Mhm.
Simple, like that would be the simplest thing you could do to start with. And then maybe obviously you need to figure out, okay, if they are using this address or not, or multiple other things, right? You just need to monitor one address for this company in India,
Mhm.
and that's it. This is a very simplified version of me saying this. In reality, this would be much, much, much complex, but I'm just thinking about loud, like, maybe if I have like maybe 2 seconds or 5 minutes to do that, I would do that. And
Mhm.
then give the free hands to founders. And I don't kind of kill them just for because they build out of India. I would basically say, okay, your company is responsible for regulation. This
Mhm.
give us the address, and we will monitor that, and you will be responsible to use that address actively for any funds going out, going in, whatever you do. And
Mhm.
then you can obviously have multiple addresses connected to that, but main one remains the main address, and then you would do much more things using that. Right. So that would I do. So it will give the founder some kind of breathing space, and then legal or the lawyers in India also think about, okay, now like how do we make sure we regulate it through this address or through this crypto address. And then people kind of creating their own regulative documentations and transfers, and the logs and audit, all those things would be sorted out without doing anything from government side, right?
Mhm.
So that would be kind of, no, I would say a major thing to do. And for example, if founder getting token, that token will come come from this account only, right? So everything would be sorted out away. Obviously, like this is simplified version. This is
Yep.
not going to work in reality. I mean, you need to make some changes to that, but I'm just saying, like, this would be a dot into the regulation in India for founders.
Yeah, it'll be a transformational policy in place. So, JD, will switch gears here.
Yeah.
What are you super obsessed about? It could be professionally, it could be personally lately.
Okay, so I'm two things. Okay, so definitely I want to from India, right? From I see India is not has not created non-tech brands. Obviously, they created tech brands, but not much. Like Polygon, I would say like one of the top first brands, tech brands out of India. There are Infosys and everything, but non-services related companies, if you think about Polygon, only tech brand which is used by many people in the world, many big companies like Meta, Starbucks, and other people, right? There is no like Google or Facebook or any other brands out of India as of yet. There are people like maybe Zomato is there, but Zomato is very operational heavy, and few countries they have, not everywhere in the world, but I mean they are doing great. That I see, and that is one thing I never thought about that when we started building Polygon Matic, and that turned out very well, and I think that would inspire other people to do the same. What I'm going a longer answer, okay? So bear with me here. So what happening is that in India, like people creating the product just for the Indian mindset and just for the Indian people, which I don't like personally, right? I'm very obsessed about, like, if I'm building a product, it has to go out for the world, not just India. For example, we don't have a much more like we don't have a bigger clothing brand at all out of India. Like, I'm not sure, like we have like so many different clothes and colors in India. Like I never seen like H&M out of India. What I'm saying? Same with the food. Like we have like variety of foods in India, and we don't see like Indian. Obviously, there are Indian food people are going there, but there is no
like McDonald's or KFC.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard to digest this. I cannot. I'm very angry about this, to be honest. Like, why it is not there? Obviously, there is Haldiram and everything, but it's not that big as. Or maybe this. I don't know, but
it has not become a verb. It's not a word where you just know it's a household name.
Yeah, so we need to do that. Like we need to go out there and build those things out of India, and we have like we have good food in India. We have good clothes in India. We are capable of doing that. Somehow we need to make sure it goes for the world. I think I've seen many Japanese brands. I've seen many Korean brands around the globe. Like no Indian brands at all. So those I'm not sure how we're going to do that. Maybe this is the shitty ideas, but maybe someone need to try it. Right. So I'm very obsessed about that, like doing something similar. So I was thinking about, first of all, like this Polygon tech brand did the same. I would do that, something with the movies. There's both people are talking about Bollywood and everything, but no, like we have potential to do something big. So I'm also thinking about on that direction. So I'm kind of thinking about like what can be taken out of India and spread to the world. And I'm happy to invest on those kind of crazy ideas. And I also plan to do something similar in future if permits, time permits, and maybe inspire other people to do the same. So yeah, that is one major part. I'm very like thinking and putting, like I tweeted a lot of things about the same in the past about what should we do, etc. The second thing on the tech side, particularly, which Polygon and in crypto is that it's still in a space that which is very new with technology, and people don't know how to use it. People just thinking, okay, maybe crypto is used here or crypto used there. So something needs to be done there, and I'm very also thinking a lot about that. Like, how do we merge this banking and the crypto together somehow, instead of going to full decentralization, full Web3, and full this thing, and then take the regulation. Instead of take the regulations and in the back end, you can go crypto way. I think Juno is doing the same. So I think that is one way to do that. And of course scalability, which we are working on. So we are kind of very obsessed with the scalability, because it is a main challenge for the blockchain and crypto itself. You cannot go without that at all. So that is three things, I mean, like, top high level, I'm more obsessed with. And in a higher overview, obviously, like, Japanese have any culture. Like, anime is very popular out. We have Bollywood, people just dancing around the globe, and maybe this is good thing, but I'm not happy with that at all. So we need to do something about that.
No, I think your friends itself, Balaji and then Kunal Kapoor, they've been dabbling around how to make this happen. And I personally feel like, JD, what I've seen, over the last 1 or 2 years, I'm seeing pride coming out of India. I see that. I think it's because of the young population. And we would love for you to take the charge there and build something along the lines. And then, JD, you might have answered it already, but let's say if money and attention are not needed anymore, I guess you already reached that point. What would you work on? And we'll put Polygon, on pause for a bit.
So, but I asked, like, maybe we can. I would create a different international product, or do something there, just to bring something out of India and make the world, like, see, okay, what is, it's just not just yoga pants. India is not about just yoga pants. It's much more than
It's much more than
So we need to put something out there. I don't know what I would do, but something in those lines.
I can't wait to hear the story where you found the right person on Twitter.
And
you just backed that team.
It's just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. So, JD, let's say there's one person, you have a chance, it could be anybody, and you get a chance to spend a day with that person. Who would that be and why?
I would definitely work with Elon Musk. Definitely. Like, there is no doubt about that, because people mostly, I have our thing in my mind is that you cannot take the advice or words and implement that. You need to see, like, how the person is behaving and working and then thinking. You need to spend some time with that person to understand, like, how you take the best part of their life or their thinking in your thinking, right? So that's how, like, you take the advice, not just by the words, right? Twitter can be very deceiving in a way. So I would definitely see, like, how that person is managing his life. So many companies and what he's thinking, and on the day-to-day basis, I would definitely want to do that. Because if you ask for the advice, like, it's very, like, I don't know, he has to think, or maybe to give you a few things, and which you might not implement, or which it's not relevant to you, because every advice is very have huge context behind that. So I wouldn't bother him. I wouldn't ask him for a day 100%. Like, I wouldn't kind of get in his way. I just want to observe him, like, how he works and do things, and listen him and everything. That's what I would do.
But so, JD, my co-pilot, Alfonso in the back, his name is Alfonso, and so he gets to ask one question.
Okay, he's also thinking and he's listening, right? Like yeah. So
He's a
yeah,
great listener.
yeah.
So he's asking, we know you now because of Polygon. What do your friends know you for? Who are you outside of work, on the weekends? What do you do?
Okay, yeah, it's a good question. As I think everyone knows this. I'm also watch a lot of movies, so depending upon the friends, like they ask, like we talk about movies and things and direct, like all those things. Other than that, so I have a friend. Today is his birthday today. So he's my like only friend. Um, so we were together since like school, right?
Mhm.
And still he's in Gandhidham in Gujarat, and I'm here.
Yeah.
But still, like whatever happens, we sit together, have a little bit, just the ice cream, nothing much, like Kaju Darak ice cream, like 10 rupees or 20 rupees in India, and that's it. We don't spend money. We just sit, talk, and just laugh, and that's it. Like that's what we do, and he has very different interests than me. He doesn't watch movies, nothing. He's not in tech at all, right?
Mhm.
So we don't have a common topic to talk about. We just talk about life,
Mhm.
so that's what, like, we do.
Mhm.
Other friends, we depending upon the friend, like what we people know me for obviously, like Polygon, but that's a different thing. But it's just I don't know, and now I'm thinking, I don't know, like what people remembering me
Yeah.
for. Yeah, people remembered me for my anger before, that I 100% sure, but I'm not sure now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't look angry anymore. Have you worked on it?
Not worked on it, but I became like, uh, not actively worked on it, but I realized that, okay, this is basically not good, and um, I changed my perspective on that little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I still get I get angry on few people on day-to-day basis and take some impulsive decision on that, but mm, not much more than before, right? Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe my life has changed a little bit, and the people around me changed.
Yeah.
That might have affected this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Man, JD, I had so much fun. Thank you so much for making the time and coming on the pod. Really appreciate you for that.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks for having me, pinging me, and yeah, and let me know if you're here. We'll talk and have a coffee, Starbucks. Uh,
But I don't know if I like Starbucks coffee, JD. We'll
no
talk
worries,
about
no
it
worries. We will go
off
there.
record.
We will go there. Just say hi, maybe, and then we go somewhere else. Yeah, don't worry.